Welcome back to our channel. In this video today we're gonna show you how you can manage users on Databricks. So here's our workspace. The first thing we need to do when we're working in Azure is to create an EntraID group. So if we come to the Azure portal, we can go to Microsoft EntraID. Now we have this option for groups. You can click here on groups and you can type a name. So let's say we're gonna call it like Metastore admin East US. You can select members. In this occasion, I'm gonna select 2 users I have over here. One for David and one for Joe. I click over here and now we have 2 members selected. I click create and here we have our group. So I have 2 groups, one for Databricks and one for Metastore admin East US. So if I come here into Databricks, I can click on manage account. You need to be an admin in order to do this. And you have a couple of options. The recommended option is to have an automatic identity management. So we're gonna sync the EntraID with Databricks. This option is only available for Azure Databricks. If you're using Databricks on another cloud like AWS or GCP, you can use an identity provider and you can connect them via scheme. So you can come here, click set up user provisioning, and you can use some of the tokens in order to establish the connection. In this occasion, we're not gonna do this. I'm gonna disable this. Come here to user management. And over here, we're gonna be able to find the groups. Let's take a look at them. Oh, there you go, here it appears. I can click here and add existing group. That's perfect. Here I have both of my groups. Now let's add the other group. I click here, I can look for the Metastore. Let's see if oh, there you go. Here I have it. So those groups are being synced with the identity provider. In case you don't have an identity provider or you want to do something quick, you can also come here on add user and you can type something like this. And you're gonna be able to create the new user and add it over here. This is a random email I just invented, so I'm not gonna use it. But this is the way that you can add different users. I'm gonna click on cancel. Something very important to consider is that even if we can add local groups, it's always better to use the EntraID to add the different groups of users. So in that way, you're gonna handle like the different groups of users with your identity provider. That's gonna be like easier to manage in a big organization. If someone leaves the organization or just enters into the organization, they're gonna get automatically all the privileges that are required for them to do the job. Once we added the groups over here, we can come back to the workspaces. We can click here in permissions and we can add individual users like I have on the left or the groups of users. So let's say I'm gonna add Databricks. I'm gonna add it as a user, but the Metastore admin, I'm not gonna add it over here. So I'm just gonna click save. And this is how we're gonna like handle this part of how to add group of users. So you see that I have some users here that are admin. This is just something, it was created like by default when I created the workspace. But the main idea is that you have different like group of users like over here. So you never have the individual like user access. So for this reason, something that would be very good is to create a workspace admin group. So let's go back into the EntraID. So I come here, I'm gonna click on create a new group. I'm gonna type Databricks Dev Journey. This is gonna be my group. I'm gonna add myself again because this is just a mock account that I created for the purposes of show you how it works. Gonna click select. Okay, I click create. There you go. Add existing group. I'm going to workspaces. Click in the workspace. I'm gonna add this group, Databricks Dev Journey, and click on admin. This is gonna be my admin group. Now I can remove others from here, the individual users. Okay. And there you go. I only have group of users. Okay, so what's an admin is and what's a regular user? So the admin basically is going to help you to, it's going to manage the clusters and notebooks within a workspace. So they're going to be able to like create clusters, create policies. So they're going to be in charge of the cost. So it's a highly privileged role that you need to provide just to as many users as possible, following the least privilege principle. Another type of admin that is very important to have is the one for the metastore. So over here in the groups, let's take a look again about which groups we have. We have 3 groups: Databricks, Databricks Dev Journey, and the Metastore East US. Oh, we have this one we already created. So we're gonna use this group as a Metastore admin. So this group of users are the people that is gonna be in charge of the data. So they can deconstruct or construct all the security that you can implement within Databricks. So if I go to the account console and I click here in catalog, I come here, I'm gonna change this individual user, and I'm gonna add it as a Metastore admin East US. I click here and save, and there you go. Now this group of users is gonna be in charge of the data. This is another very highly privileged role. That's it, how you can add different group of users. Now, this is not the only way that you can add users to a workspace, because you can also go to the workspace if you are a workspace admin. You can go to the workspace, as you see it over here, and you can click here under the top right corner on settings. And when you're an admin, you can go to identity and access. You can click here on manage, and you can add multiple group of users over here. So you can select an existing one or add a new one. In this case, I'm not gonna do it, but this is another option. Or you can add a individual user too. The best practice is to never do this manually. It's better to always do this using EntraID or another identity provider. So thank you so much for watching this video, and this is how you can add users and groups into a workspace.